Cookie and they were used to neighbors. They were best friends, most like soulmates from childhood. Their parents were good friends of each other's. In childhood, Cookie promised Tae that he will marry with him. They made a handmade bracelet, grey one for him and black for Cook. It was like a promise symbol. Both swear they will never lost it. That's the reason when they met, they saw his bracelet on Jungkook's wrist, and he recognized his Cookie and became emotional. It was after few months when Tae was 14 years, he happily skipped towards Cook's house, but found no one there. For months, Tae tried his best to find Cook, but never find him. After his parents' accident, his searching stopped and trying to survive in this world started. He took online jobs, works in cafeteria to maintain a living. But his heart was still longing to his Cookie, while his body worked for daily survival. While talking about Cookie, his parents were killed by a mafia leader, and that day, Cook also murdered that leader with his hands. His love for his parents was so much that he couldn't bear when they were shot in front of him. But this one incident forced him to step in that underworld, leaving everything behind. But in case of Tae, no matter what, he couldn't forget him. He wore his bracelet and never took it off. After few years of his under mafia things, he was like a killing machine, handling mafia shits and all. He became a pro, like a leader. When he felt everything was settled, he searched for Tae, and he was informed that Kim's had an accident. It left him devastated, thinking his Tae also died. He was guilty that he left him in first place. That's why he became more cold, a cold-hearted person. After thinking Tae died, Cook's only focus on gang shits. He hooked up, but just to relieve his stress. He never kissed someone. His first kiss was Tae and will be last as well. Tae was now observing the bracelet on Jungkook's wrist. No doubt it was the same bracelet he made. He was confused that this dangerous and rude person can be his Cookie, who never hurt Tae, today just put a gun on his head. They understood. Might Cookie didn't remember him, that's why. After all, it was many years when they last saw each other. He remembered in their childhood when Cook proposed him on his knees, holding his favorite lilies. They both were innocent. They shared their first sweet kiss. Of course, it was Cook who guided Tae, as this little Cookie learned by seeing his mommy and daddy. They had teary eyes again, remembering their sweet past. He looked at the sleeping male and he sighed. They planned that he will ask questions after the person woke up. They knew he is dangerous, but they also knew himself. He knows how to deal. Now he just waiting for him to wake up. Jungkook opened his eyes slowly to find he is on a bed in an apartment. He remembered that he took the puppy-like male to his house. Well, he hacked that male's location, but now he was angry, thinking that beautiful person might be more than he thought, maybe a spy or another gang's member. He slowly sits up. He checked his pocket too if he has gun or not, but no. Fucking shit. He was going to get up from the bed, but suddenly, out of nowhere, he pinned to the bed. Jungkook had his eyes widened for a second. Though they looked fragile, but Cook knows that grip was strong. But Cookie is more strong than they. He flipped their position and they both fell off the bed. Now Tae was bottom and Cook was on top of him. They both stared into each other's eyes. After a few seconds, Jungkook came into reality. He pushed Tae a little harshly and about to get up from him. But in no time, they picked up the chloroform spray from the table and again sprayed it on Jungkook. Again, Jungkook became unconscious and fell on Taehyung's body. Oof, Tae, you are really stupid. You should have tied him up while he was sleeping. This bunny is really heavy. They somehow managed to make Jungkook lie on the bed again. Then they took some ropes and with the help of YouTube, he managed to tie a good knot on his hands. That Cook will definitely find difficult to open it. After some time, Cook was again woke up, but the difference was that this time his hands were tied. Now Jungkook was done with this shit. He was going to open the rope. Well, being a mafia leader, he knows all types of knots. He mentally was feeling proud for this. But he stopped his activities. His eyes widened when he saw what was in front of him. That pretty male was now standing at the front of a door, guessing it was the bathroom door. That male was just in a towel, his honey skin full on display. Cook just continued to stare at Tae's body from top to bottom. Cook forgot the fact that he was the same person who made him unconscious 2 times. He just lost in Tae's ethereal beauty and body. No matter what, he can't deny that Tae is really pretty. But his love is for that childhood Tae. Now Taehyung came into his senses when he realized the situation he was in now. He closed his eyes and let out a feminine scream. Cook tried to close his ear, but he could not because his hands were tied. Poor Cookie. "Stop screaming, you idiot," Jungkook said. Hearing Cook, they stopped screaming. You should have to make some sound when you woke up. What happens if I was fully naked? They scolded him while trying to hide his half-naked body. Cook snickered. Well, nothing could happen, cause you had tied me, stupid. Then they realized. He didn't say anything and in a speed of light went in bathroom for change his clothes. Meanwhile, Cook was still waiting for him. He decided he will first know the purpose that why Tae is doing this. He just laid on the bed and waiting for Tae to come. After some minutes, they came. So, I mean, Mr. Tattoo person, do you remember? What did you call me? Mr. Tattoo person? No, before that. I just said Mr. Tattoo person only. And Cook believed on Tae. He thought maybe he is hearing things. As I was saying, do you remember someone named Kim Taehyung? Cook had his eyes widened and that's enough for Tae to understood. His cookie remembered him but just didn't recognize. Why are you asking about him? Cook replied back in a cold tone. He was now really serious as his tete was now involved. Whoa, big guy, don't use that tone with me. And second thing, I said Kim Taehyung because it's me. Cook was again shocked. But he was not going to believe on him. Though his intuition were telling him that this male has some connection with him. You are lying. Stop this fucking play of yours. Cookie! Don't call me that. You hear me? Don't. Cook said in a deep voice as he was angry and confused now. Cook thought how this male is pretending to be his tete. Well, for a fact, Cook had forgotten that he can untie his hands. But hearing Tae, he wants to know more. Looking Jungkook's angry behavior, Tae didn't say anything. Tell me, you idiot, how do you know about Taehyung? They sighed deeply. First, stop calling me idiot. And second, I am Tete. You don't believe that? Okay, wait a minute. They get up from the bed and came back with a bracelet, which was grey. No. He died. You hear me? He fucking died. All the memories were now coming back. Cook was controlling not to cry. He immediately untied his hands and was going to move forward, but a hand stopped him. Cookie, I was not dead. You left me. And now Cook became frozen. He couldn't believe on his ears. He immediately turned around and saw those eyes. The same feeling again. With shaking figure, Cook composed himself. Listen to me carefully. If this is a fucking joke, I swear I would. Now they had enough, and he lost his patience. You pig! Are you deaf or what? I said I am Tette. You are Tette. You promised to marry me. You are my first kiss. You are the one who sings songs for me. You are the one who proposed me with lilies. And they completed his sentence. Jungkook's whole body was shaking from this truth. He immediately hugged Taehyung tightly and collapsed on the bed with him. Jungkook started crying badly, like a fearless mafia was now crying, while he sat on Tae's chest. Habit, whenever Cook cried, Tae was always there. Cook would hug him, putting his head on Tae's chest, and Tae would pat his head, like the current situation. They both cried in each other's arms. Tae was now cuddling with Cook, who was holding Tae tightly. You are my Tette, Cook said while showing his cute bunny smile. That was so rare in the past years. Yes, and you are my cookie and soon to be husband, they said and blushed. Cook looked at Tae with pure emotions. Both of their eyes were screaming love for each other. Tette, I want to taste strawberry, Cookie said in a baby voice. They laughed at Cook's cuteness. He knew where this was going, but who cares? Okay, Cuckoo, come here, they also said in a baby voice. And soon they both leaned towards each other with a smile. They both shared a long kiss, tasting each other's lips, licking and sucking them. And they both spent theirs that night while sharing their past experience, remembering old memories with some romantic moments. And my lovely taekookers, we are not done yet. Well, in next episode we will see when they get married with each other. Okay, so look forward for it. See you in next part.